All right, so what we're going to be doing today is that we're going to be creating a 1-point perspective on a 12 by 12 paper. Ruler is very essential for this because we want to make sure that we're creating straight lines, and we are also going to be starting off with an HB pencil, which is also a number 2 pencil, and that is just so that it is a softer lead, so that when I have to do any type of erasing, I'm not making marks that are incised and it's hard to erase. So as I begin, I want you to also understand that of how to draw light. Okay, when you're first making your marks, don't put a lot of pressure onto your pencil. Now I may be doing that just because I want to show you just a little bit more clear on the video itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my ruler on the edge of the paper, and I'm going to come up and mark at 5. So as you can see, this is inches, and I have it at 5, came right off, and I marked it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my ruler down, and again I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to make sure that it's on the edge, and then I'm going to mark at 5 again. Okay, so now I am going to put my ruler up to these 2 dots. I'm going to make sure that I connect them. I'm going to go from one side of the paper to the other. Okay, and again, draw nice and light so that it's not going to be, because there's going to be a lot of erasing and everything. So what I just now made is that this is called the horizon line, and this is my vanishing point. So this is where my center of vision is. This is how I'm looking, as if I'm like looking down the street. I have a particular vision that I'm looking right directly down towards. So on this though, all I'm going to do is just create some simple, I'll start off creating simple shapes, and then I will convert them to be 3-dimensional forms. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to come up to here, have my ruler nice and even on the edge of the paper, and I'm going to mark 1 and 3. Okay, then I'm going to slide my ruler down just a little bit. Again, it's on the edge of the paper. I'm going to mark 1 and 3 again. I'm now going to turn my ruler, and then I'm going to just go ahead and connect those lines. All right, again, I'm going a little bit harder. You don't need to have it as dark. Okay, so I have nice straight vertical lines. Okay, vertical lines are lines that go up and down. Now I'm going to turn my ruler. Okay, so now I'm going to create some horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are side to side. So I'm going to place my ruler up at the edge of the paper. I'm going to mark 1 and 3 again. And then I'm going to slide the ruler down, making sure that the ruler is staying on the edge of the paper. I'm marking 1 and 3 again. So now again, why I'm making sure that these marks are the same, so that it's keeping my ruler to be nice and straight. So I'm just going to put my ruler up on those 2 marks. I was off a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure that my ruler, noticing how I'm also holding my ruler. Okay, now I'm trying to hold it off so that you guys can see what I am doing, but I'm also making sure that I'm having a lot of pressure onto this so that the ruler does not slip as I place my pencil up against the ruler, so it's keeping it to be nice and straight. Okay, so you can see I have to go a little bit higher with my vertical, so I'm just going to put my ruler up against this line again, connect it, and connect it again. Okay, so now I have created a shape. A shape is flat. Okay, but I want to make this into a 3D form. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and again, this is my center of vision, so I'm going to take these 3 points to this vanishing point. Now these are called converging lines. I'm going to connect these dots right here, these corners, to this dot right here. So once again, I'm going to make sure that my hand is placed on my ruler nice and tight. I'm then going to make sure that my ruler is up on this vanishing point, and then I'm just going to slide it down. Nice and light though. Okay. Again. All right. And then one more. Okay, so now I have where it's going to my vanishing point, and I have my converging lines. I forgot to put horizontal. You don't have to write this, but I'm just going to do this, converging. Okay, now I want to finish the box off. Okay, and this is where a lot of students have a hard time, because when they think the back side of the box, they think because of how the lines are converging, we'll put the ruler the wrong way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my ruler up against this vertical line, because I know and how straight it is. I'm just going to pull it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to stay in between these two converging lines. And then I have created a nice parallel vertical line. Okay, they are parallel because this is the back side of that box. So now I'm going to take my ruler again. I'm going to put it up against my horizontal line. Look at how straight my ruler is. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it to my vertical line, and that's the back side. So what you want to understand is that these two lines have to be not horizontal, parallel to one another. Okay, these two lines have to be parallel to each other too. All right, so if you are putting this up here like this and your line is like this, okay, you can tell that the lines will intersect, so they're not parallel. Okay, so parallel is where they'll never intersect. So there is my first form that I'm creating. So a form is going to have height, width, and depth. And see, I'm going to erase these converging lines because I don't need them anymore. All right. So now I have that going to my vanishing point. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to create another rectangle piece, shape, I meant to say. So now I'm going to go ahead, put my ruler up against the side of that paper. All right. This time I'm just going to mark 1 and 2, and then I'm going to slide my ruler down again, making sure it's on the edge of that paper, and then again 1 and 2. I just had to make sure. You can choose any number up on this ruler as long as it's going to be the same up top. So now I'm going to turn my ruler. I'm going to connect my 2 points so that they are going to be nice and straight. Okay. Now I had to create my horizontal line, so I created my vertical. So again, I'm going to make sure that my ruler is going to be nice and flush up top. Okay, and this time I'm going to go to 3.5, and then I'll just do 9. Okay, slide it over, make sure it's still on top, and I will go 3.5 again and 9. All right, then I'm going to connect those. I'm going to connect these down here. So now, since this is above and below, I'm going to have only one side. So again, I'm going to connect these 2 angles. And I went a little bit, I could erase that. So now I'm just going to go create these converging lines, nice and light. Oops, sorry about that. So nice and light right up into here. All right. Now what I'm going to do is just going to take my vertical line. I'm going to put my ruler up against it and slide it over and finish that box off. Okay. Then I'll erase the horizontal line because you don't see it anymore. Okay. Now I'm going to erase this top converging line, but I'm going to keep that bottom one. All right. I'm going to show you how we're going to work with overlapping forms. So now I'm going to put my line up, my ruler up against that vertical line. I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. Now I'm going to start at this converging line right here, and then I'm going to go up. All right. Now, as you can see, I went a little bit further than this converging line. This vertical line right here. Sorry about that. And above the converging line. So now I'm going to go ahead and create a horizontal line here. Noticing how I'm not going any further than right here. I'm not going way down here. I'm going to create another horizontal line. It's going to connect to my vertical line right here. Okay, so this is important. And then I'm going to take this vertical line, connect it to my horizontal. So what I just did is I created another shape just like how I first started, but you just don't see the other side of the vertical line here and that horizontal. Okay, so then again I'm going to take this point to my vanishing point. I'm going to take my ruler. Now I don't have to do the bottom one because this is already going there. Okay, and I can erase this point, and you can see that separation now. All right, so now I'm creating that element of space. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to pull it down, and now I have created my other form. Okay, now I'll just erase all those other lines that are unnecessary. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create a box at the bottom of my page. Once again, I'm going to place my ruler up tight against the edge. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark 5 and 7. I'm going to slide down again, and I'm going to mark 5 and 7. Okay, so I have my 2 marks right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect them. All right. Now I'm going to turn my ruler, and this time I'm going to just go, let's say 1 and 2.5. Slide my ruler over just a little bit to 1 and 2.5 again. So then I'm going to connect these. Erase those lines. I don't need those. I need to connect those. All right, so now since it's directly underneath the vanishing point, I'm only going to have 2. Notice how my rulers always connect to that vanishing point. So now I have this going off into the distance. Okay, but I want to have this finished off, so I'm going to create another horizontal line. Okay, so there is a box underneath the vanishing point. But now what I want to do is I'm going to show this looking like several boxes. So I'm just going to take this horizontal, continue going. Now if I want to show a separation of the boxes, all I need, since I have my horizontal, I'm just going to create another vertical line right here. And right here. So this is the back side of the box, this was the next horizontal line, and then I erase these converging lines, and now I have it looking like there's 2 boxes, actually now 3 because I still have that. So again, I can still make one more box of overlapping if I want to. And then I just drop my vertical lines here and here. So now I have it where I have my 3 boxes. They're all looking like they're going off into the distance. Okay. So again, the biggest thing is that what you got to make sure is, you can see I'm just constantly using my ruler. I'm using my pencil, and I'm making sure that I'm working with a number 2 pencil, working light. Okay. I draw out the shape first, and then from the shape, depending on what side I am, I will take it to the points to the vanishing point. Okay, I'm converging those, but the back side, okay, will always be parallel to whatever is the front side of this. All right, so that is what is important. So again, I'm just creating shapes. I create them, go to the vanishing point, and then I finish them off with vertical lines or even my horizontal lines. All right, on the next video, I will start. Probably go ahead and create a couple more, just because I want to fill up the page. Right now it's looking like it's not as balanced because of how I have this negative space. But I will have more forms drawn onto here, and then I will also have that discussion about how to talk about having light source coming in. As you can see, my shadows are now playing on to my piece, of having and creating my shading techniques with that light source.